Hello there, Crown Point. Mayor Pete Land here again with yet another exciting edition of the Lay of the Land podcast. We are actually, season 2, episode 3 of the podcast history. So still holding our number 1 national ranking. Coming in strong, so thank you all the viewers locally and nationwide. I think we
internationally too.
I was just going to say I had a couple of emails from overseas. I think they were from Nigeria, but
right. So your friends wanted to give you some money,
right? But I'm counting them as fans. So anyway, thank you for tuning in. Very exciting show today. We got 2 rock star guests who have been pestering to get on the show. We finally were able to accommodate their busy schedules, and here they are. So before we jump in, Anthony, how's your month been going?
Going real good.
Busy month, right?
Been busy, and the city's right in the middle of our summer concert series. We had the El King concert. It was very well attended. Well over 3,000 people attended.
Yeah, that was very exciting.
Had the corn roast, and it's a lot of activity going on. A lot of good things happening in the city.
It is. There's a everything. Even last night with the concert series continuing with the
car cruise,
and
it's a nice night. Beautiful out last night.
So. Yeah, it was very nice.
Yeah. If you can't find something to do in Crown Point, you're not looking because there's always something going on. So.
Yeah, and then a Chris Jansen concert too. That was a great show. That was a fantastic show. So I'm glad that we were able to get him. Personal favorite of mine. Yeah. But anyway, and then you were down in Branson, Missouri.
I was, yeah. So there's a national softball tournament. Both my girls played in the softball tournament. They did well, and it was a great place to go for the family. And it was a softball tournament, but a well-deserved vacation as well. Yeah. So it was pretty good.
So you're able to get the softball stuff in.
Get the softball in the morning, and then a lot of activities at night. So it was fun for everybody.
Nice. Yeah, fantastic. Adam, you're back here again, right?
Yeah.
Adam's very excited to be here.
I'm back.
Yeah. So anything going on at Team Pace besides?
Nonstop. So
nonstop.
I'm a very popular person
with
the staff. So they are not liking me very much right now, but it is going very well. So every night, from the parade to the festivals to the concerts to car cruises, farmers markets to whatever you can think of,
all falls on you guys.
Yep. So the NSA World Series coming up on Thursday in the Taste of Crown Point.
Yeah.
It's Friday and Saturday, so there's some great bands that night. Mr. Funny Man, Echoes of Pompeii, Nate Venturelli will be there Saturday, and then Allman Brothers Tribute Saturday night as well. So
very nice.
Yeah, some cool
great lineup. So. Yeah.
Yep.
And then NSA, how many teams are coming in for that? 260?
260 plus.
From all around.
From all over the country, and then followed by that, then we get to do the Cal Ripken World Series where they're coming in from Bahamas, Australia, etc. So we got some fun stuff coming. So followed by the Cooper Allen concert on August 3rd. So.
Yeah. No slowdown into the season or into the summer for
the fair.
Lord Park and the fair.
That's right. Roll right into it.
Banners are up already. Fantastic stuff. So, like I said, we have 2 rock star guests. Everybody has heard, I'm sure, of the Lake County Corn Dogs baseball team. Phenomenal season 1, well repeating itself into season 2. So we have Ralph Flores and Justin. You're actually the coach, the manager of. Man, you have to. We'll get into how you handle all that young talent and the strategy of everything. I find that very interesting. But thank you guys for taking your time. I know your plate's full to join the podcast. So
appreciate being here for sure. Yeah, happy to be here.
Yeah. So Ralph, how in the heck did you come up with one? I want to do this baseball team thing, and everybody wants to know how'd you pick the name?
Okay. Well, the name started through a name the team contest that we had. So most teams across the country, when they start a new franchise, they have a name the team contest to get participation from local fans, and so we wound up putting that together, and we wound up probably with about 400 or 500 different possible entries.
Wow.
And as a committee, we broke it down to 5 different names. And I don't recall the other 4. It's been a couple of years now since that happened. But corn dogs were one of the 5. And then we put it out for a secondary vote with the 5 names. And the corn dogs came in first. There was another name that was very close, but corn dogs did edge them out. And the reason that they one of the main reasons that it made the final five was one of the persons, because there was about 7 or 8 people that said corn dogs on an initial entry, and the one of the main reasons that it moved forward was one of those entries put an explanation, and he said, if you understand Crown Point, if the history of Crown Point was nothing but a cornfield back in the day. Back in the day, yeah. We had town,
very true,
county seat, and then after that, it was a lot of corn. If you understand what Crown Point represents today, it's the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs are everywhere. So if you match the old with the new, you get a corn dog.
Oh yeah,
very nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I
So
never knew
that was named by our own Stark Preservation member, Richard Osterley.
Yeah,
Really?
sure was.
He did.
Yeah.
Wow,
He's a guy
fantastic.
that-
Yeah, and then you kind of, it's also the county seat and, the county fair and corn dogs and things of that nature. So I thought it fit well. And most organizations now that start these types of franchises, they're trying to look for different types of names versus just your general name, because it's something that people attract to and want to buy merch and things of that nature. So, and that has been pretty successful for us as well. And speaking of merch, I have some merch we'd love to share
very nice.
with you and
Very nice
today, and show you some of the things that we have and keep it here for you.
Yeah, thank you. I got the corn dogs hat right up there,
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
and baseball is up behind the Dan Hampton football.
Awesome.
Yeah, you guys were good enough to. When I threw out the first pitch, which was I don't know if you had it on the radar or not. I thought you did. So,
Maybe
maybe I had it. Right, dyslexic, so maybe
You were 2 miles an hour faster than your end.
Yeah, there you go. I did hear yours was a little off plate, but no, that was a great time doing that. So thank you for getting.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming out
Yeah,
and supporting us for sure.
So how did the whole concept of I want to do this baseball team? I mean, how did that come about?
Well, I was in the sports industry prior to what I do now. I'm an insurance agent, and back in 07, 08, economy crashed, and my sports business crashed along with it. So, but I always knew I wanted to get back into the field of sports and sports marketing. So, I had a health scare a couple years ago, and like, if I'm ever going to do this, you never know when the last day that is on this earth, I'm gonna go and try to get this thing done.
Yeah.
So I decided that baseball, I was formerly mainly in basketball, and as far as the sports industry is concerned, but transitioned into baseball and was able to look at a local league here, which is now the Northern League. Identified that maybe this would be something where I would want to put a franchise in the league, but first and foremost, you need a good community, you need a plan, you need good people around you, and first thing was the good community. We found that in Crown Point, such an accepting community, and particularly for youth activities and sports and things of that nature. So I presented that to Greg Falkowski, who I know personally. We've golfed and things together. Said, hey, I want to talk to you about just an idea that I have. I want to see if it's worth bringing up to Mayor Rand. So we spoke, and he said, I think this is something Mayor would definitely at least listen to. So he did, and we were able to sit down and have a conversation. And Anthony, I think, was involved with that first conversation over at the Ricochet Tacos.
Yep.
And Adam as well, right?
No, I think it came a little bit later.
Yeah.
Alex was there.
Alex, that's right. Yeah. So we sat down and I presented the idea, and I believe they came back and said, "Yeah, this sounds great, but there's some things that need to be done prior with location and agreements with Babe Ruth and us." And he goes, "If you can work all that out, then you come back to us and we'll take it to the next step." And I was able to do that. And once we did that, we had the plan in place, and getting a coach and players and all those types of things started to fall in place.
Yeah. I mean, I tell you all the time, you've just been a fantastic addition to Crown Point, and here to talk all the time. I mean, your success that you guys have obviously helps tremendously. But
Right.
just like you said, it's a sports town.
It is.
And just a great asset to bring into Crown Point. So
I appreciate
very
that.
fortunate that everything worked out
Yeah.
as it did.
And I'm really glad Mayor Uran was behind it, and you've you're a very big supporter of ours as well, and that was great. It's always something you worry about when there's a new administration. Is it going to be the same? And it's been great with you, and we really appreciate all the support that you've given us. And I know your door's always open for us whenever we need to chat, and it's been awesome.
It is, yeah. Great for Crown Point. So that's you got the groundwork laid, and then you build on that, and then you need coaches and players and put a product on the field. So I don't know how you do it. So Justin, how did you come to be involved with the Corn Dogs? And people don't know, like, how did you arrive where you're at?
Well, I'll try to make a long story short. When it comes to the Corn Dogs, I actually was the first manager for the Northwest Indiana Oilmen when this league was the MCL, the Midwest Collegiate League. In their inaugural season, I think it was 2010 or 11, and Don Popperbeck, who was the league commissioner as well for the Northern League now, found me, and I was coaching at Trinity Christian College at the time. And so I became his first manager, and we won the championship that year with the Oilmen. And so I ended up coaching them for 3 summers for the first 3 years of the league. And we did well, but it just got to be a little too much for the fam, so we took a break from that.
Sure.
Stayed at Trinity, coached there as a head coach for 12 years. And then all of a sudden I got a phone call from Ralph and said that Don recommended me to him. He was going to start a team in Crown Point. And as much as I, love being away from my family every single night, playing baseball, just the thought of a team in Crown Point with collegiate players and now some semi-pro players 5 minutes from my house was very intriguing.
Sure.
But at the same time, I wanted to meet with Ralph and see what his vision was. Because I kind of have some high standards. I love to not just win, but just to be successful in everything and not just do something just to do something.
Yeah.
And so we sat down at Papa's, I believe it was, and he expressed his vision for the team. I knew Crown Point would be amazing. I had no question about that. Knowing youth sports around here, baseball, I've done baseball instruction here with kids and different things, and just knowing the passion that this town has for sports and for activities, for events, living here for as long as I have, I knew that was going to be amazing. But I wanted to see what Ralph's vision was as well, just to see if it was going to be a well-run organization, what he was going to do with the team, what his vision was for the future. And after hearing what he had to say, I was all excited. I was on board. I was like, okay, this is something I want to put my name on, and I know I can help in a lot of ways. And so we did. We got together right away. We started recruiting players, building partnerships with organizations like Great Lakes Sports Hub. And it's just been a fun, amazing ride so far this 1.5 to 2 years.
Yeah. Now, did you play baseball prior to you entering the coaching world?
Yeah, that's the long story short. I'm from South Holland, Illinois. I played baseball at Thornwood High School. And then I went to University of Mississippi, Ole Miss, for 3 years. Was an infielder and a pitcher there. Broke records as a pitcher, as a closer, and then I'm getting drafted by the Rockies. And was a closer in their minor league organization for 4 years and made it up to the big leagues with the Royals. I got traded, and I played in the big leagues with the Royals. And then had a 2.5-year stint in AAA before an injury kind of ended my career.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very blessed to have played 8 years professionally and then jumped right into coaching at Trinity Christian and was there for 13 years total. And now I'm actually working at Great Lakes Sports Hub. I kind of took a break from the collegiate scene for a while. After 13 years, you kind of reevaluate, okay,
Sure.
What do I want to do now? I think I reached a lot of the goals I wanted to do at Trinity Christian and had a great run there. Won some championships and did some things that school's never done, broken a lot of records and did a lot of history there, and it was a lot of fun. But I like new challenges, I like different things, and so kind of in that transition now, it was actually perfect timing when Ralph approached me to kind of do something different again, and so what I'm doing with Great Lakes Sports Hub is kind of helping them transition to an amazing complex, which is
They've done a fantastic.
It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you right now, a lot of groundwork's being laid over there, construction's going on. So their vision there, the Corn Dogs vision there, the town's vision, everything is just kind of aligning, and I'm just kind of blessed to be a part of all of it.
Yeah. So when you look to field a team, how at your league, how do you find the players, or how do you build a team? Well, last year from the ground up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How does that?
You wanna
What's
start?
that process?
Yeah, it's we have a group. It's a group effort for us. Both the coaches. We also have Coach Hallberg, and then it's myself, and then Bobby Morris as well. He's the head of player development and recruitment for our players. So we come together, right after the season ends. Last year before the season began, and kind of just get a target list of players that we think could do well for us, and then we all have our own different types of connections, and so we'll split it up and say, I know somebody here at this team, I know this coach, so kind of split up the duties, and we go out and actively recruit the players, and it's worked pretty well thus far. Everybody contributes in that aspect, and they all come together. And last year we didn't have any issues at all with the players that we brought together, and they meshed well, and it appears that it's the same thing is happening this year.
Yeah, and that's one thing I knew that would be, I don't want to say easy, but as a college coach nearby, I know how much talent's in Indiana. It was tough being at an Illinois school to get the talent from Indiana to want to come over to Illinois and play at a Christian school, but I knew how much talent there was. The high school talent is just amazing. There's junior colleges all over the place here. And it's been fun because with the Huisman, I kind of did all the recruiting myself. And so to now have an actual team of people, like when we sat down that first meeting, Ralph already had a list this long. He's got a lot of connections in the area and knows a lot of these kids and families already. And then Bobby Morris at Great Lakes Sports Hub as well with the 5-star youth program.
Yeah.
It was like, holy cow, this is going to be awesome. And so we just sat down and we said, okay, you take these guys, you take these guys, you take these guys. And we just tackled it. And we had a team really quickly. But summer ball's, it's always an adventure. You got guys who have a lot of goals with what they're doing when they go back to the fall. Some guys throw a lot and they're like, okay, I only want to throw a little bit. Some guys like, I'm throwing it all, I'm coming off an injury, and they want to throw a lot, but they need to build up.
Yeah.
Some guys, get hurt in the season, and you have to pick, find guys to fill in, and people like to go on vacation too, and so it's always an adventure, and that's probably the most fun part of my job.
Yeah. So that's something as fans you don't think about. You just go and watch the game and all the work behind it.
Yeah.
Now, do you like target a certain age group, or is it anybody as long as the talent's there, or how does that work?
Yeah, obviously talent. It's a business. We want to win and be successful and put a good product out there for the fans to watch. Mm-hmm. But obviously, we'd like to have a nice array of high school players that are just graduating, college players, and then now we started where we can have a handful of semi-pro guys who are post grads. Some have some professional experience, or some are just have that goal. Yeah. And we can give them a place to play and hopefully get picked up. And we already had that once with Hilbrick, who got picked up by the Birmingham Beavers. And that's exciting for us. It hurts us because he was a great player. To lose a great player is not a good time, but that's why we're here for those guys.
That's got to be a good feeling.
Oh, absolutely.
When your own is moving on.
Definitely. But it's fun to have guys who have been around the college scene a long time or post, and to kind of mentor these young kids that are just graduating of what it's going to be like going into college in their first fall ball. And this will be the first time they're really playing baseball all year long and weightlifting and doing everything and geared towards baseball only. Yeah. So it's fun.
So do you ever get like cold call, like, hey, I used to play baseball. I'm like 50 years old now, but I still got it. I want to try out. You ever get
yes.
or at game somebody comes up to you?
I can still do it. Yeah, if you can let me know if you need an arm. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Do you ever get peppered with those?
Happens more than you would think.
You let them try out? What do you guys do?
There's an age limit in our league, so it all depends how old they are. So, but I have a friend who plays a men's league, and he's a submarine pitcher. And I always tell him he's 58 now. Yeah. And he's still playing with the 25-year-olds.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he's throwing from the submarine, so his arm never wound up getting injured. So, and he's competitive still because of the angle that he's coming in at, and he gets people out. And I'm like, I want to get you out for the corn dogs one of these days, and he gets all excited.
Get him out there.
That's where you just say the roster's full, but we'll let you know.
We'll let you know.
Right. The spot opens up.
So what is the age limit? Is there really an age limit?
There is. Yeah, you have to be a graduate of high school, and then it goes up to 26?
27.
27.
Yes.
27. Yeah, 27.
Okay, so what happens if you're on you're playing for the Corn Dogs and then you hit your 27th birthday? Are you allowed to continue playing? Or
yes. I think it's technically as long as you don't turn 28 during the season.
Okay.
Is what we've been doing. We've had a few exceptions, but it has to be agreed upon by the league.
Yeah, and then you guys are in the Northern League, right? So how many teams? How's it comprised, and where are they at?
Yeah, there's 6 teams in the league. They're all based in Indiana this year. Last year we had a mixture of Illinois and Indiana. We have a team in Griffith. We have a team in Highland. We have a team in Hammond. We have the Corn Dogs, and we have a team in Whiting. And then there's also a team in Elkhart, Indiana. That's their first season in the league. And it's always a fun time traveling out there. Right?
Yeah, Elkhart, yeah.
And it's a time change in a whole bit, so you have to
Got the
make
time
sure
change.
you get there on time, and so not bad coming back. You get that hour back, but yeah, so it makes it interesting. But yeah, it's been good thus far, and with that, the level of play this year has gone up from last year. I think they were used to having a certain level, and then when we came in and did what we did last year and set every record, I think, in the league's history from top to bottom, including wins and home runs and RBIs and the whole deal, pitching. Everybody said, okay, we better start stepping up our game. So everybody wound up stepping up their game this year.
Yeah, it was an amazing run, 35-11, and everybody was like, wow, that's awesome. I said, well, it's not really great for the league when a team is dominating that much. So, like you said, I think everybody realized, okay, we need to get better pitching. We need to have better rosters and really do what we got to do if this is going to be the new level. I said, so 35-11 would be nice to go that again, but if we don't, that's only good for the league.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, I'm just assuming. So first season in the league last year, teams are probably like, well, who are these people and what's this team about? And then you just literally knocked it out of the park. I mean, it had to be catch, like you said, all the other teams. Like, what is going on in Crown Point, Lake County Corn Dogs?
That's for sure. Yeah, we made a statement, and we played well the whole year. We did it the right way. We had good kids, great coaching staff, great fans, great support. And honestly, we were the gem of the league. Everybody looked at us like this is what this league is all about, and this is what it should be in the future. So it was great.
And then season 2, with the season we're in, I mean, you're right back at it, right? First place. I mean, how late does the season go? When's the playoffs start?
First week of August.
Yeah.
The first weekend in August.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and right now we're 22-10.
Yeah.
22-10. So we only had 11 losses last year. We have 10 already. So as you see, the talent level got a little bit better in the league. So which is, like you said, which is good.
That's a great point too.
Yeah.
You're so right on that.
Yeah. But we're still leading the league and having a great season and having a lot of fun. What's
the one area that on the team, and I guess I'm asking you to put your manager hat on, that you're I wish we were stronger in whatever relief pitching. I mean, batting average, or is there one, or is
that's a good question? I mean, I think it changes daily. I think we have strengths in everything. I think when we struggle, it's just inconsistency. And some of that just has to do with inconsistent lineups in summer ball. That's just going to come with it. There's just days you're going to have a strong lineup where most of the guys who are doing well, and then other days it just lines up where you just happen to have half your lineup of guys who are struggling.
Yeah.
And that's summer ball, and that's partly my fault, but it's on purpose because I try to be a fair manager and let these guys play. I'm not just out there just to win. We're here to give these guys an opportunity to get better at their craft. But that just means we have to get a good roster from top to bottom, where no matter who we put out there, if it's their turn to play, that we have a good lineup, and we do. I would say, where we have struggled is just inconsistency, sometimes on the mound or on defense more than hitting. We've had our, days, but that's baseball, where you just don't put runs on the board. And good pitching always beats good hitting. So if you're facing an arm that's just on that day, it's just going to be a low-scoring game. That's just the nature of the game. But we got guys, and you can see in the stats who are having great years. And All-Star game is coming up, and the side that we play on is more than half Corn Dogs. And that's just a testament to the team and how well they've done. But I'd say where it's different this year than last summer. Last summer, our starting pitching was rock solid. And we even lost a couple of them because they did so well to some other leagues where they just had a huge opportunity that they couldn't pass up. And that's, like I said, that's kind of the things that we're here for. That's why we're here to help guys move on in this game, who have big dreams and big visions. But the starting pitching this year, we just had some guys, like I said earlier, coming off some injuries, need to be built up, where we just and we've had a lot of rainouts as well lately. So getting guys innings, sometimes it'd be like, man, I'd love to throw this guy 6 or 7 innings right now, and I know it gives us the best chance to win. But it's not really fair to the others who haven't thrown in 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
And so we've just kind of went out there and made sure that we kind of give these guys an atmosphere where they come and say, hey, you want to go play here because the organization is great, the coach is fair, he gives you opportunities, and it's a great atmosphere to play in front of. And so far, so good with that.
Yeah, so man, you got as manager, you got product on the field, but you got all those other things that
Trust me, it's
I
tough.
keep track
In
of
the
all
8th
that.
inning, when it's only 1 or 2 run ball game, you're like, man, I'd love to keep this guy in the game or throw this guy. But sometimes you just have to put the atmosphere and the players goals above the teams.
When is the All-Star game? Where's it at?
It's next Tuesday in Whiting.
Yeah, it's 7 p.m.
7 p.m.
What's that fall on? The 20th? Is that right?
I think 19th. 18th, I think.
Okay.
18th, Tuesday.
Yeah.
In Whiting. Oil City Stadium.
One of the things, I've been to the games, and one of the things that, first of all, it's just great entertainment, baseball experience.
Mm-hmm.
That always struck me was that I've seen you out, I've seen all the players out, like talking to the little kids, because it's so family friendly.
Right.
I mean, you got the product on the field, but you got all this other stuff going on for the kids and so forth. So just seeing the kid, like Wrigley Field, having a kid with the mitt, hoping for a foul ball, and a player comes up to him or her and just takes that picture. And it's such a cool thing to see. That.
Absolutely. Our team motto is building community through baseball. And that's what we did.
I like that.
That's our vision. It's always been our vision since day one. We're always trying to figure out ways how to incorporate the community, how to give back to the community. We actually were able to give some swag to Anthony's girls to take with them to Branson.
Very nice.
So
That's
they have corn dog gear that was spread out to kids throughout the country that participated, because that's kind of the ritual that they have. They bring stuff from their hometown.
Oh,
And they
great.
spread it around with other teams from other states. And so those are the types of things that we strive to do and be involved in the community. And then if we're good to the community will be good to us.
Yeah.
That's the way we look at it.
So, just so maybe families that haven't been to see a game yet. So you got the product on the field, but if I got little kids and I go to a Corn Dogs game, so what kind of experience is there?
For sure. You hit on a couple of those things. That the action is right at their fingertips. You know what I mean? So they get to go right by the dugouts and chat with the players, and coach is really good with that. If guys go over there and start talking to them, it's not like, hey, get back in the dugout. I need you focused. He understands what this is, and it's community based. So those kids that start building relationships with some of these players, and then at the end of the game, they get to run the bases and they shake their hands and get autographs. And then we have a kids zone as well.
The kids zone.
Yeah, we have the kids zone right on there at the field, and there's a lot of activity there. We have a big area where kids run around and chase foul balls and things of that nature. So the kids love it, and the parents. It's been so many parents that have reached out to us after a game, and they're taking their kids after they've had the full day. They're like, "Thank you for coming to Crown Point."
Yep.
We've heard that so many times.
Yeah. On-field promotions to games and different things, so wheelbarrow races, different fun stuff, and that's part of the vision that Ralph expressed to me, and that I got excited about, because I've played a lot of places and a lot of levels, and it's kind of like a minor league type feel. Like you go to a minor league ball game, you're going to have something like an MC, you're going to have people doing games and fun stuff, promotions, prizes, and it's not just about the game and merch.
So we got the merchandise and the bats and the koozies and the little, what do they call these? Fluffy? I don't know what the heck that is. Autographed baseballs, and then we got a official Corn Dogs jersey that we'd like to present to you.
Oh, fantastic!
And it's the number is appropriate, right?
Yeah.
Why is the number appropriate?
5-0. Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you, Ralph. I appreciate
You're
that.
welcome.
Yeah.
Yep. That's the official game jersey right
Yeah,
there.
that's fantastic. I will definitely wear that. Appreciate
Are
that.
you going to want to throw for us now?
My talent level's not there.
Been practicing all week.
Just a scotch above the age limit. Just a tad. Yeah, so we were talking last year when you were in designing the mascot,
Yeah.
and you were in the design stages. Like everything, I was shocked how much stuff cost.
Right.
But you pulled it off, so I see
We
the
did.
mascot all around at
Yeah.
different events. And
Yeah, we didn't realize last year when we put the budget together. You know, it's the first time I've done this, so I put the budget together for $1,000 for a mascot. Boy, was that wrong.
and I thought when we were talking about that, I'm like, oh man, that's like way more than
Yeah. Now, 9,800.
Yeah.
Times it by 10.
Yeah, exactly.
That's nuts.
So we had to wait for year 2 to
Yeah.
get the mascot, and that's been a big hit. Kids love him, and we have the big mustard on it.
Nice
and
touch.
Like what game was it? Oh, we had the YMCA game where we had 350 kids from the YMCA at the ball game, and when he came out, it was pandemonium. Just and they're jumping all over him, and they're jumping all.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, the mustards were ready to fall off. And we had to re-sew it back on. It was fun.
Well, I knew it was going to be a success here in Crown Point, but I'll never forget the first time I really knew it was the St. Patty's Day parade, the first one that we were part of.
That's right.
2 years ago.
Yeah,
Beautiful weather. I don't know how many people do we have at that thing.
That was-
man.
It's
It was
crazy.
crowded.
That
Yeah.
was insane.
Oh,
It was so much fun, and people were just going nuts when we walked by. And I was
Yeah.
like, okay, this is gonna be awesome.
yeah.
This year was a little cold, so you guys need to fix that next year.
Yeah, I was.
Well, new mayor.
I dropped the ball. But the parade just fantastic. Oh, it's a great turnout for that day long event.
Yeah.
Day, morning to day, tonight event.
Those are long days. Those are fun days, though.
Yeah,
So.
for sure.
Yeah, remember when we hit the town square, the amount of people that first year.
That was unbelievable.
Holy
We were
cow.
throwing out T-shirts and
Oh, yeah, if you got a
my goodness.
T-shirt,
Yeah.
it could be extra small, and
And they
Yeah.
want
the
them.
biggest guy out
yeah,
there wants it.
exactly.
That's a cool thing. It's almost like the driver's talk at Indy when you go in that tunnel and you get to that square and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't have enough stuff.
Exactly.
Right? So, but it's cool seeing all those people on both sides.
Yeah.
Getting in
So if somebody did want to, secure tickets and bring a group out, how do they go about doing that?
Yeah, they could reach out to us on our website, corndogsbaseball.com, or you can feel free to give me a call directly at 219-381-6000. That's 219-381-6000. But if you do go on our website, www.corndogsbaseball.com, you'll be able to find the schedule. You can purchase tickets online and get some additional information on groups and things of that nature. And that's been great for us this year. Last year we didn't have very many groups because we were just building the foundation, but now that organizations and people are starting to hear about us, they're calling us daily about bringing out groups and spending a day with their closest friends, family, or coworkers, and that's been great for us. And we just keep building on that, and that's what's really going to be have us to have the success that we need on the business side of this business to keep this thing going. And as long as we continue to get those groups, we'll be here for a long time.
Yeah, and I can attest that's like a perfect group layout. If you got my business, I'm going to have a business outing.
Correct.
My 15, 20 employees. Be
Yeah.
great. Go and experience it, have a cold beer, and then watch the
That's right.
game as part
We
of
have
it.
Off Square Brewing. That's a partner of ours that has the beer garden there for us, and we have our own beer called the Golden Batter. And
Very nice.
Very
Yeah.
nice. Adams, I had a lot of that.
yeah.
That's how you get the physique like this.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
When we did when we started doing our recap of the season last year, one of the things that the feedback that we were getting was that people wanted a lighter beer, and Off Square has great beer, but if you're not a craft beer person, then it's not for you, or you might drink one or maybe not even finish that one because it's not your palate doesn't like it. So like we want something that's lighter. So we told Off Square like we're gonna probably wind up getting some other light beers in there, and they're like, no, give us a chance to create a light beer. I'm like, okay. So they messing with the brew and things of that nature, and it had us out a couple times to taste it, and we're like, that's the one. They're like, so then our marketing director of marketing, he wound up putting together the can, the label, and the whole bit, and the name, and off we were going. It's been selling like crazy at the ballpark.
So do they sell it besides at the park? Do they sell it at
The brewery.
the brewery itself?
They do.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's going well, and we've had a lot of community partners. one of the largest community partner that we have that came in and really made this happen for us was University of Chicago Medicine. If it wasn't for the University of Chicago Medicine, we wouldn't have been able to do what we did last year. It's just plain and simple. They came in a big way, wrote a big check for us, and allowed us to be able to do the things that we're doing in this community. And then now we have other sponsors that are helping us, maintain and sustain. But they were huge. They're going to be a great partner for the city.
Yeah, that's Crown Point. They're new to Crown Point, but Crown Point partnerships. Looking out for each other.
Absolutely,
that's our history.
And that's when we connected with them. And they're like, you're an ideal partner for us because you're new to the community. We're new to the community. Let's present our teams and our products to the community together. We're like, that sounds great.
Yeah. Win-win, like you said.
For sure. And like I said, they were great.
So do you guys? So I think you have some. You usually have special game nights or special events or promotions. I guess I should say. So what do you guys have? Don't you have a few things coming up that you want to?
Yeah, tonight. Tonight we let's go to July 25th, which is Christmas in July. We're gonna have Santa there and Mrs. Claus there.
Very nice.
Along with Cornelius, our corn dog, and we're going to be giving out gifts throughout the entire day. In between innings, I have maybe a bike or two to give out that we'll give into some kids, and some other really nice prizes from different vendors and folks and supporters that are giving us some things to give out that day. So that's a big one that we have is the Christmas in July. And then on the 27th, we have the first responders night, and that's turning out to be a very as we're building it out now, and it's turning out to be a very nice event. All the local fire, police, and EMS folks will be admitted for free, and then we're going to have my cousin works for the St. John Police Department. He's bringing out a SWAT truck. The big SWAT mobile, and
kids love that.
Yeah.
So adults.
Yeah. Crown Point is committed to bringing out a fire truck for a short period of time as well. So we're gonna have a couple of different types of emergency vehicles out there, and maybe try to get a canine out there or something like that, and it'll be a fun night. Yeah. And we'll honor those brave men and women.
Yeah. So fantastic. Thank you for doing that. Yeah. We won't get into it, but you got quite the family history and great pedigree in law enforcement service. Yeah. So
appreciate that.
Yep, rock solid family there.
Thank you.
So what about coming up with playoffs and things like that?
Yeah, we the season ends, I believe, that first Thursday in August. Then as long as we stay where we're at, which we should. One of the top two seeds. We'll have the first game of the series will be at Legacy Fields, which would be that Friday or Saturday. That hasn't been determined yet. It's that first weekend in August, and then the second game will be away. And then if there's a third game necessary, then it would be at home again. And then it all depends if we continue on.
It'd be two best of three series.
Yeah. Okay, so they're best.
One will play 4, 2 would play 3, and then the winners play for championship best of 3.
Okay. So as that schedule gets more defined, anything the city can do to help get that word out and promote it through Mary,
great. Thank you.
It'd be our pleasure to
absolutely keep
on the assist with that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I can't thank you guys enough for coming, and Justin, I can't thank you enough for. I didn't know I was interested to know what your background is, and that's got to be like instant credibility. I mean, all these kids, I'm sure, are eager and. Just passionate about their craft, but to be able to coach them with, here's what I've done. Mm-hmm. So it's not just, grandpa off the bleachers, I'm here to coach you. You got I've been there, so I know what it takes. And,
and that's an exciting part of coaching in summer ball. Obviously with your own program, you do a lot of teaching of the fundamentals of the game and everything, but I always love coaching the mental side of the game as well. And with these summer guys, I mess with them as much as I'm allowed to. I mean, no coach wants to have their player come back in the fall and be like, well, what did you do over the summertime? Right. They might like it, they might hate it.
Yeah.
So you got to be really careful there. But the mental side of helping them what it takes to get to the next level, have higher standards of themselves, play the game hard all the time. All those things were like, I am playing hard. It's like, no, not really. You can play harder.
Right.
You can play better. You can be tougher, handle the highs and lows of the game. And those are things that I did well as a player. There were much more talented players than me, but one thing that helped me was mental toughness. Being able to forget about the bad stuff, learn from it, but not let it, take it into the next day. To be able to have a short-term memory, and go out there the next day and be successful and turn the tides. Because it's a tough game, and if you ride that roller coaster of emotion, you're probably going to be at the lower level more than you're at the higher level. So those are the things I really try to help these guys with. Who a lot of them just have a lot of big goals. And like you said, just having somebody who's been there, that doesn't mean I'm going to be a great coach. Trust me, I've played with a lot of guys who are phenomenal players and not the best coaches in the world.
Yeah.
So, God's blessed me to be able to do this. It's the next best thing to being a player.
Yeah, fantastic. So I thank you for, Crown Point, for everything that you're doing for the team and that great product that successfully winning. So fantastic stuff.
Thank you.
Ralph, as always,
Appreciate
always
it.
pleasure talking
Absolutely.
to you. Yeah, so anytime you guys the mic's open for you guys. So looking forward to the rest of the season and the playoffs and taking them there. So
Let's do it.
Absolutely.
fantastic. So Adam, any closing thoughts?
No.
I don't know what we pay you for doing it. That's over.
No, we're all good. It's another good show. We'll be putting this out coming up here very quick, and a couple more months of a busy summer, and then we transition to ice hockey and skating and all that stuff. So it's going to be nonstop till the end of the year. So
Yeah.
be a fun time in CP, and good luck to the Corn Dogs and everything you guys do. So just another compliment to all the positive stuff in the city. So it's fantastic. So
Thank you.
that's good stuff. I've been here forever, and you've been here forever, and it's amazing to see how the city's transitioned and in a positive way. So
Yep, I agree.
it's good stuff.
So, Mary, she's way off. She's on her phone. She's checked out. But I see.
She's
Okay.
working.
She's working.
Okay.
All
Always
right.
working.
Adam, take note. Well, on behalf of me and Anthony, thank you again. Crown Point. So catch the podcast on Apple, Spotify, Facebook, YouTube. Thank you, Mary. We appreciate that. So until the next edition, Crown Point, thank you very much for tuning in, and stay safe, and we'll see you next month.
This month's business spotlight is the Lake County Corn Dogs. The Lake County Corn Dogs are a pre-professional baseball team in the Northern League that play right here in Crown Point. You can catch up with the Corn Dogs by visiting corndogsbaseball.com. You've been listening to Lay of the Land with Crown Point Mayor Pete Land and Chief of Staff Anthony Schlueter. If you like what you heard today, come hang out with us on the third Tuesday of every month. Lay of the Land is available on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. We'll see you next time.